Okay, we are recording. Good evening, good evening. I'm just trying to wait for the speaker view to change so that it is up for the YouTube video. That's not gonna work. Okay, so hi, hello. It has been forever and like 3 years since me and Lindsay have done a training together, and some of our first trainings that we ever did for this team were on attraction marketing. And it's been so long since we've done like a full updated version on it, I guess is the best way to say it. So we wanted to do this tonight, kind of just open it up. I'm going to start by telling a little bit about kind of like our journey of leadership to how we started using attraction marketing, what it actually is, how you apply it in your business, and then I'm going to hand it off to Linz, who's just going to give more examples when it comes to like physically working your business and different things like that. So I read something this morning, and it's always so funny. Somehow every time I have to do a training on a specific subject, I read something in like my morning Devo or something that I'm doing that just like completely relates to what I want to say. And it said this morning, that the motivation of your heart will always beat the quality of service. And I want to talk about that for a second. I don't mean having a bad quality of services and you're not, putting quality into your business, but the motivation of your heart is what runs your business. And I think a lot of people get very tripped up when it comes to marketing tactics, when it comes to attraction marketing, or so like we sling all these words around. Everybody's like, gosh, I don't know what that means or how to apply that or how do I post in that certain way. And I hope we can break down those barriers tonight and just show you that attraction marketing is just being yourself. And it's having people come to you rather than you having to go out to them. So it's not this crazy technique where every post you put up or every story has to say a specific thing to like reel somebody in. It's not a slimy marketing technique. It's being yourself and knowing what you have your hands on and knowing what you bring to the table to have other people come to you. So I wanted to start with that. And also I wanted to read off the actual definition of attraction marketing, and hopefully this can like break down some like stigmas or maybe like confusion you have around what it is. The definition on Google literally says the culmination of your marketing efforts to draw people to your brand, or showing the value of yourself and what you have your hands on to bring people to you instead of reaching out to them. That's as simple as it is. It's literally just having people come into your inbox asking you about your product or service or about yourself rather than going out to them. So I want to begin just with sharing a little bit about our journey. I get very out of breath, so excuse me. Lindsay's also out of breath because she's having like this bad pollen reaction for a month and forever now. But this baby's sitting funny, so I can't breathe right. But if I have to drink water, just ignore me. We started with this company 3.5 years ago. And I joined in September, and then Linz joined me that December. And when she joined on, we were still a part of my Upline's team page, going through their training with how they onboarded people. And when I joined this company, one of the first reasons I did was because of that word attraction marketing, because I was told, you're not going to have to cold message people. You're not going to have to reach out to people. You just get to be yourself. You get to go online, have fun, enjoy this. And while that was a good portion of what we were taught, there was also some things that just didn't align with who we were and what we wanted to train you guys on. So as we grew, I can say that quote again if you want. It was the motivation of your heart will always outweigh the quality of your service. So I would say a couple months after Lindsay had joined, we were working on our leadership. It was literally just me, her, and Katie in a text message. That was our leadership chat. That was what we had to work with. And we knew that we were going in a different direction. And we really had it on our hearts to train you guys in the most authentic way possible. And we didn't want it to be slimy. We didn't want anything to feel weird. So we had to figure out how we were going to do that. And I remember we were having a conversation, and Lindsay said in the chat, she said, well, are we going to create our own team page? And if you don't know this, Lindsay's a little bit more bold than I am. So I walk on eggshells, and I'm really like afraid to hurt people's feelings. And that made me nervous, because I didn't want to branch off and offend my upline, which didn't end up mattering because he left. So she said, are we going to make our own team page? And I'm like, well, oh gosh, I don't know. Should we? Like, are we equipped to do that? Are we qualified to do that? Like, how are we going to train on people? And she was like, well, if you're not going to, I'm going to. And I was like, okay, so we should make a team page. And that's when Hustlin started. And she kicked us in the butt and said, listen, like, we can have our own team page. We can make our own trainings. If something that they're leading on is not vibing with us, like, we can do our own thing. So that's how it started. And I was like, okay, we're just going to do this. Then that's fine. She's good for those kicks in the butt if you don't know. And that is when the team page started. So don't ever tell yourself that you're not equipped. Don't ever tell yourself that you can't do something because you don't have an upline. I don't have an upline. We figured it out from day one and just started to make trainings in the team page that you now see that has like 6,000 people in it and like 12,000 like trainings in there. Like, there's so many in there, but we started that because we came in with the attraction marketing, but we're like, okay, I don't know if this is what feels good. So we failed forward and figured out that attraction marketing is just being yourself, and it's being on fire with what you have your hands on. And like I said, a lot of people get tripped up and you're looking for the perfect wording and you're looking for the perfect story and you're trying to be something that you're not. Attraction marketing is people being attracted to who you are and coming into your inbox to ask you, hey, what are those capsules you take every morning? What is that business you're a part of? Hey, maybe it's something about your personal life that you're sharing. So it's just about people coming to you rather than having to do reach out. So that's how we started this whole team page. But as I said, we haven't done an updated training, honestly, laying this out, talking about everything. So I want to go through a couple of things with attraction marketing that I think are really, really important and kind of how I view it on a daily basis, because I wouldn't even say that I have like a marketing technique or tactic when I work my business. I show up every single day. I share my life. I share what I have my hands on, and I add value to other people. And that's what we're going to speak on. It's about adding value. It's about sharing over selling and just learning how to be yourself and breaking through that barrier. Because when you're blocking yourself, trying so hard to figure out how to work the business, you're not getting anywhere because you're not just being who you are. So the first thing that I want to start with is, where is it? The most important thing with attraction marketing for me that I've learned over the years is that it's about creating true engagement and relationships versus expecting something from others. And I think everybody here can admit that we get into a trap sometimes where we get really frustrated and we're like, why is nobody in my DMs? Why did nobody vote on that poll? Why is nobody responding to that story? Why do I have no potential? We've all done that. And it's so easy to get into that me situation where you are wondering why somebody is not reaching out to you, why somebody's not asking you about that story, asking you about the products, whatever it may be. And I need you to focus on the quality of what you are putting out. And this is the exercise that I always do. If you went to your page right now and you looked at your story and you looked at, let's say, your last 3 to 5 posts and you were a stranger, would you have something to DM you about? Like, would you have something to say? Would you have something to reply with? Would you have something to engage with? Would you have something where you're like, oh yeah, I really relate to that. I can ask her a question about that. We can talk about that. Is there something for people to grab onto to connect with you? And again, it's not a sales tactic. It's what are you presenting to your audience? What are you offering them when it comes to value? What are you pouring into them? What are you sharing on a daily basis? So we get into that trap of focusing on why is nobody reaching out to me, when you have to have that mirror check and say, what am I giving my social media for them to actually, come and have a conversation with me? And I like to compare it to like dating or friendships. If you went to a bar and just like sat down and said like 3 random things to somebody, and then you were just like sitting there waiting for them to say something back, it's awkward, right? Like nobody knows what to say. You don't know what's going on. There has to be engagement. There has to be conversation. You have to say something that sparks a conversation in them. It has to be that kind of enticing thing where they have something to say to you. So you have to check your content and really ask, number one, if you're being yourself, because if you're not, people know that. And I always say it has to go below surface level. If you just have, one picture up of a product and then a business story, but like there's no you, there's no parts of your day, there's no your family, your kids, your personality showing different parts of your life, there's nothing for them to connect onto. You have to dig deeper than that. So I really want you to focus on what you are giving people instead of what you're not getting from them, because when you go into that lack, you can't create relationships from that. You can't create engagement. You can't create potentials. You have to look at what you are giving your social media, and you might need to dig deeper. You might need to show more of your personality. You might need to get face to face more. You might need to post about different types of thing in your life, because if you're expecting somebody to get into your inbox, which is a very uncomfortable thing for a stranger to do, what do they have to connect with? They have something to say to you. And I have to check my content like that all the time. If my inbox is dry, if nobody's reaching out to me, I know that I'm not offering them something to hold on to. So that's a really big part of it, is creating that true engagement, letting your audience get to know you so that they are coming to you. I wrote down value, value, value. What are you sharing with them? What are you pouring into them? You know, it has to be, as I said, below that surface level where you're offering them something that they're not getting anywhere else. You're impacting them in a way that another page isn't. Maybe that's you guys connecting on something, you pouring something into them, you sharing a part of, you know, your health journey that relates to the product. And they're like, gosh, I really feel that. There has to be substance to that. And what was the other part I wanted to say about that? Oh no, I lost my place. And nurturing those relationships. So I want you to stop viewing it as the cause and effect of I did this, so somebody should reach out to me. That creates false expectations in your business that will literally wreck you and leave you feeling completely in lack. You have to show up and give that value and share and pour into your audience without the expectation of, you know, oh, that means somebody's going to vote on that poll, or I put in time making that story, so I have to sign a new customer. You have to go into it without expectations, just like in relationships or dating. As I said before, if you go in with all these expectations, you always end up disappointed. So I want you to work more on you and what you are sharing with your audience, the quality of your content, the way that you're sharing the products, the way you're sharing the business, with who you are, so that people have something to connect with. And that might take getting super uncomfortable. You might have to, like I said, show your face on your stories when you have it. You might have to talk about a part of your product story that you never have, but you have to do more if you have nobody in your inbox, because that's what's missing in the attraction marketing. Remember the definition, it's somebody coming to you because they see what value you have. So are you truly showing what you're capable of? You know, are you presenting the business in a way where they're like, gosh, I know that girl could lead me. Like, I know that she could help me get out of this situation, or I know those products that she takes, I see what they've done for her. I know they can do that for me. That's what the attraction marketing is. It's bringing somebody to you because you've offered them quality. You've given them something to cling on to. You've helped them in ways that you don't even know about by what you're sharing every single day. So I think that that's really important when you are viewing it. And before I pass it on to Lindsay, I want to say this. People always get tripped up also when it comes to sharing the business and products on your story and on your page. I want you to remember why you signed up. And I say this all the time on trainings, but why did you join? Like, what was it about the products, or what was it about the business that your leader or mentor posted or shared or talked about? Like, what did you see over and over on their page that made you want to join? It's the quality of it, right? They had to do something that struck your heartstrings that made you want to say like, hey, I need that. I believe I can trust her. I believe I can reach out to her. I believe she can help me to get to where I need to be. What was it that made you join? And remember that passion that your mentor or leader probably had. Remember that passion they had for the business, the products, whatever it may be, that they shared with their personality paired with that. That's what attraction marketing is. What are you giving to your audience that's going to bring them to you? And that's going to have to be deeper, as I said, than just, you know, a product being shown a couple times a week, or, you know, sharing one part of the business. It's going to have to be more than that. So remember why you joined, and know that your passion is what is going to light somebody else on fire. And if you are not willing to dive deep with that, and you're not willing to show your heart of why you're here, of what you're working towards, what you love about it, your passion for this, and just who you are as a human being, and being confident and proud in that, it's going to be really hard to get people into your inbox. So that is why the way that I view attraction marketing is, it's just what quality are you giving to other people that is making them want to reach out to you. And as I said, do that self-check if you need to. Go through your page. Think about your stories the past week and see, if I was a stranger, would I have felt a tug on my heart to message her? Would I have been like, oh gosh, that was funny. Let me respond to that. Let me answer that. Let me ask her about that. Are you giving them something to cling onto? Okay, so I'm going to pass it to Linz, and she is going to dive into like more of the actual how she does it daily with the business and products on her stories, on her page, and everything like that.
Hi. Okay. So for anybody who does not know who I am, hi, I'm Linz. I'm one of your 200K leaders. And my leadership style and my personality style are constantly like this. And I'm going to explain that for a second because it has a lot to do with how I work my business. My personality, I'm as red as it comes. Like, I don't give two shits what anyone thinks. I don't care if they come up to me and tell me I'm the ugliest person in the world. I'm going to say, thank you, have a good day, I'm moving on. Like, I just don't care. I am so red when it comes to that. But when it comes to my business and my leadership and how I love my people here, I am so blue. And the reason I say that is because it took me a while to allow some of my red into how I feel about my business. And the reason I say this, and if you have two separate, and you know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I suggest taking a personality quiz and seeing what color you are and learning about yourself. Because it's actually awful being blue and red because I'm constantly like, fuck you, and then I love you at the same time. So I'm sorry for my language if there are littles on here. If you are not used to a Zoom with me, I have zero filters. Hey, hi, hello. And so that is my constant battle. And my thing with my business is I had to learn to bring my red into it, but not overcome it. So if you don't know how you lead, I want you to do a personality test to first find out what your personality color is. You can Google it. There are tons of them for free. Just do personality color test, and then you'll see that color and you can literally read up all about it. You're going to learn things about your personality and you're going to be like, oh shit, yeah, that is me. And then you're going to also be able to dive into it and then do a couple leadership ones. Google is your best friend. When I say Google University, YouTube University, that's how I learned how to work this business. Trial and error. When Em says that we didn't have a team page and that it was me, her, and Katie at the beginning, and I was like, hey, I want a team page, and they were both like, well, I don't like chats. And if you know Katie, she still hates chats. And Em was like, that makes me nervous. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. And I was like, listen, either I'm going to do it or we're going to do it. But a team page is getting made. And they were like, okay, we're in. And that's how it started. But the thing is with my personality is I'm always in my own lane. And with my business, I'm always in my own lane, but I'm inclusive. I will never, ever, ever, ever tell somebody that they can't use something that I do. I will never tell somebody that like my boot camp, my trainings, my Monday nights. Y'all have not seen me on a Wednesday, and I apologize for so long, but it's because I train my personal downline and anybody who wants to hop on every single Monday. And it's a lot on a toddler mama and busy life. Okay. So, but the thing of it is, you have to be inclusive in this business. And you're probably like, where does attraction marketing come into this? So my thing is, I think attraction marketing has so many definitions at this point because our industry has used it to explain so many dang things that 3.5 years ago when Katie and I were like, we want to do it a different way. We want to do true attraction marketing of what attracted us here. We don't mean the same things that Sally Joe Bob down the road means. We don't mean the same attraction marketing that you're going to see in other people's companies that they're like, oh yeah, we do attraction marketing too. When I say pretty social media tonight, I don't mean how good you look in a picture. Because y'all, I have no bra on. My hair is in the top of my head. Like, this is how I'm in my pictures. This is how I hop on trainings. I am me. But I built a multi-million dollar business off of this hot mess right here. So if you're going to tell me that you don't have pretty social media, then you are taking it the wrong way. So I want to reword it, and I want to switch it up a little bit for y'all. And instead of talking about attraction marketing, I want to talk about sharing. And if you are new to a Zoom with me, let's go ahead and fill the chat with our I ams. And I have a reason for this, I promise. But go ahead and fill in the chat what your I ams are right now. And the reason I say this, and yes, y'all are always welcome on my Monday night Zooms whenever you want to be on, but fill it. What are you fighting for right now? What are you here for? What is it that got you to work this business today? Those are going very, very fast. So yes to all of them, but fill it. Because if you are not willing to claim it tonight, if you're not willing to speak it out, if you are still unsure of what your I am is, that's where we need to start. So let's go back to the basics, okay? And I talk fast, so I apologize. But this is recorded, so you can catch the replay and listen to this nice nasally pollen voice all over again. But for real, I want you to know why you're here. And if you've been here for a long time and you've watched the units or guides or whatever they're called in lovely Facebook world now, you've watched my 5 trainings. You've probably seen me. I had a couple extra chins then. It was, COVID and baby and a good time. We're working on losing the chins, but the basics are still there. I want to talk about our 5s. I want to talk about why you're here. These I ams are so strong into your 5s. When I say share, I don't mean post a picture of your capsules and then, okay, I worked my business. I mean, what about the capsules does it for you? Why do you take those capsules? If you just put the capsules up and then somebody messages you and then they're like, what does this do? And you're like, they're step 1 of my 3-step system. Okay, sis, I could look online for that. Like, what do they do? How do they make you feel? What is it? Why are you putting them in your body? You need to know why. So part of your 5s for your brand have a lot to do with your I am. So let's break down those 3 5s real quick. I know you all have been through 5s trainings, but we're going to do it again because sharing versus selling starts with the basics. And I have a feeling that a lot of people on here, because if you were attracted to M or I, you probably have anxiety and you probably overthink the world. It's just what we do and it's fine. But if you were attracted to either of us, then that probably is the case. So you probably sit here and you overthink like, I want this $4K, $4,000 bonus. I need to show up as a 4K leader. But in your head, you're creating all these expectations of what a 4K leader does. 4K all the way up to 200K, really, it's no expectation. There's no rule book, I can't even speak, around it. All it is showing up. If you want to be a 4K leader and that was on your thing, I am 4K, but you haven't worked your business in 2 weeks, what do you think a 4K does? Just sits there? You have to work your business. So it's sharing versus selling. You're not going to get to 200K. You're not going to get to a multi-million-dollar business. You're not going to get to thriving for free because I'm not just here to talk about, oh, you want 4K. Oh, you want 200K. No, there are people on here who want to thrive for free. And guess what? That's my goal for you. My goal for you will never be bigger than you want it to be, but I need you to dream big because the opportunities and what we have our hands on are huge. But so many of y'all are sleeping on it and not willing to share it because you're so afraid that your next door neighbor or your crazy aunt that was twice removed is going to message you and tell you that, can y'all tell I'm from the South? Is going to message you and tell you that what you're doing is a pyramid scheme. Great. Thank you. Like y'all think that Em and I got here by people like ready to order from us. I didn't have a single person who I actually knew who actually had my phone number join me until I was already a 200K. Think about that. I did not have a single friend or a single family member besides my mom, and it's my account. She's a 40K leader on our team. It's fine, but I run her account. I did not have a single person that actually knew me enough to have my phone number, that actually knew where I lived or talked to me on a daily basis, join me as a customer or a promoter until I hit 200K, to the very top of the company. So if you think that 3.5 years ago, it was different, it's not. It's been the basics. It will always be the basics. So let's go back to the basics. I'm going to talk about our 5s real quick because y'all have already probably gone through this training, so I don't want to bore you. But if you are not picking your content based around your I ams, based around your branding 5s, I'm going to tell y'all what my branding 5s are. And if you've watched the video, you probably know what they are. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I have 2 Great Danes, I love my family, and home decor. Y'all, it's not jumping out of an airplane. It's not like skydive, like that's the same thing, skydiving, jumping out. It's nothing spectacular that somebody would be like, oh my gosh, like her life is so exciting. It took me 2 days to finish the entire Vampire Diaries on Netflix. And y'all know how many seasons there are. Like, that's how much I don't do shit. Like, I sit on my couch, but I'm a mom. I'm a wife. My family is full-time because of this industry, but it didn't start that way. So I want to go back to the very beginning of what I did. My 5s of my brandings didn't get less exciting. Y'all, when I first started this, I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment with my Great Dane, driving a lifted Jeep, and everybody who started from the beginning used to see me in my bikini on my Jeep. I no longer have that body, so we don't do that anymore. We're working on it. But I was in debt. I was over $100,000 in debt. I didn't have a single person who believed in me. I didn't have a single person that was ready to join me. Most of the people, I live in a small town in the South, so most people were like, get a job, go back to nursing. In fact, one of my soon to be 80Ks who's on here right now literally told me that I needed to go back to nursing until she tried the products. So you have to believe in you, and you have to be willing to share why you started this, why you're here, not why your next door neighbor needs it, not why your mom needs it, not why your auntie needs it, why you need this. Because if you are not willing to share why you are here, if you are not willing to share what makes you you, if you're not willing to share the opportunity that you're fighting for, if you're not willing to share why you use these products every single morning, what are you going to talk about? This isn't a copy and paste kind of thing, because I'm sorry, but copy and pasting doesn't build legacy businesses. It doesn't build generational wealth. You know what does? Being you. Because I'm a hot mess express who's honestly a sailor mouth all the time, and I'm rough around the edges. Most people think I'm intimidating. Like, y'all, I've heard it all. But I can also tell you right now that generations to come in our family are going to be taken care of because of this one yes. And I started with nothing. But I can tell you right now, generations to come are going to have everything, because I started with nothing and never stopped sharing. And I want every single one of you guys to say the same thing. So let's talk about our product 5s, because we talked about our branding 5s. I use that for my content. I use that for pictures. I use that for topics. I use that for all sorts of things, because at the end of the day, what this is on social media is 80% your life, 20% your business. And I'm not saying only work your business 20% of the time. I'm saying your post is 80% your life, 20% your business, sprinkled in together, mashed like a big old blended family. We're the Brady Bunch in that post, okay? This is what it needs to be. If you're separating it, you're creating a divide. If you're creating a divide, everyone else is going to see a divide. People read my stuff, and even if they want nothing to do with Thrive, they still have everything to do with my post, because it's me. It's my son. It's my family. It's my dogs. It's my home. It's my husband. Y'all, they don't even realize that they're supporting my business because they just see me in it. A like, a share, whatever. Social media to me is monopoly money. I don't believe that 20,000 followers on Instagram built my business, because most of my followers on Instagram are Thrivers. I didn't start getting them. The recognition didn't come until I was already there where I wanted to be. And y'all, once you get to where you want to be, it opens so many more doors of where you're going to go. But a lot of times I hear on social media, I don't have enough followers. I don't get enough likes. I hit 80K in this company with less than 300 followers on Instagram. I didn't know what a preset was, y'all. Em had to teach me what a preset was and beg me to use it. She was like, please, you would just have such more appealing. And I was like, it's an extra step. Y'all use the preset. Trust me. It looks really, really good coming from me. Yes, I know, but it looks really good. Use the preset. There are little things on your social media that if you're going to share the most. You're going to work your business, do it to the most. Don't just say, I posted a picture. Okay, great. But what did that have to do with your business? Because you can make one social media post a day and then spend the rest of your day in your stories. But that one post will do so much more than 17 posts in a day. I would rather you guys post once a day than post 13 times in one day, sharing memes, sharing videos, sharing this, sharing that. Y'all, this is your storefront. This is your magazine cover. This is your hey, hi, hello, my first impression. If you go to your page right now and don't even know what you have to offer, if you watch your story and have no idea what even products you're using, how do you expect somebody random who just finds you on the explore page or just happens to come upon you on the people you may know site or section? How are they going to know if you don't even know? You guys got to do self audits, okay? You have to do the self audits weekly. And if you're on Sunday planning Zooms with Christina Tammy, who is a 12K running for 40 right now, if you are not on those Zooms with her, she taught me how to plan out my week. She organized the shit out of my life, y'all. Like, trust me, be on it. There, everybody is welcome. My down my nose, and everybody is welcome. Y'all are welcome to be on it. But let's talk about that 80-20. So that 80% is your branding fives. That 20% is your product or comp plan fives. And I'm not talking about paragraphs when I say my fives. I'm talking like one word, like energy. I'm not talking about overcomplicating it. I'm talking about thinking tomorrow morning when you pop your capsies. Why? Why are you popping those capsies? What do they make you feel? Are you just taking them because you're like, oh, it's part of my system? Because I can tell you right now that nobody's going to use a product just because they're like, oh, I don't know, I was told to. You use a product because it's working. So what's working for you? Because if you're not willing to share why you love a product and why you are taking it every single morning, how do you expect other people to then want to take it? I show my products personally in my stories. My real-time, real life, messy, all out, like, Lynn's life is in my stories. Y'all, it is not perfect. We're not preaching perfect here. That is not what attraction marketing is. Attraction marketing is not perfect. Attraction marketing is not the perfect caption, the perfect picture, the perfect this or the other. Attraction marketing is sharing. Attraction marketing, and if you post one post and then you get discouraged and then you don't post again for 2 more weeks, y'all, you lost somebody that was interested that one day because they're looking at people that are posting every single day. When you're doing the 80-20, it's no longer 100% business. You're not losing yourself. People join network marketing industries and then they become that company. We don't want you to become Thrive. We don't want you to become Lavelle. We want you to be you and share why you're here, why you need this, why these products, why this comp plan, why this team. And I'm going to break down kind of my content life in a day for you, okay? How do I do it? I start my mornings and my capsies are the first thing in my stories. Always. I have to turn off the chat though, because I have squirrel syndrome and I'm reading y'all and losing track. Y'all know me. So I start my stories, I do my capsies. Then it's a little bit of life, a little bit of this. I show what Ryland's doing. I talk in it sometimes. Then I do my shake, my DFT, and I show that. Then my life is in my stories. Y'all don't have to have an exciting day. Y'all know half the time in my stories, it's just talking about whatever Netflix show is playing in the background or whatever movie Ryland is watching. But when I first started this industry, it was me going to the gym, my single life, me doing this, me doing that. Y'all, you have to share you and it has to evolve with you because people are still following me 3 years from now and they've watched Single, Hot Mess Express, 100K in debt Lynn's evolve to wife, mom, debt-free, building for generations to come Lynn's. Take them along your journey. Show them. And you're going to do that in your stories. Okay, so take some time in your stories. And I am queen of, if you posted an opportunity story yesterday, you worked your business yesterday. What are you going to do today? Opportunity story every single day. Okay, and I know some people are like, wow, that's a lot. But if you're planning it out and you have content saved and you're making content and you're using content from other people as inspiration, it's really, really not that difficult. It's not easy. I will never ever say that this is easy, but it's not difficult. Our brains just like to overcomplicate things. So what I want you to remember every single day is stories and a post. 80-20. Your stories need to be 80% you, 20% business. Your caption, 80% you, 20% business. Now, when you're using your other fives lists, my product fives come heavy into my stories. That's just how I am. It works for me, but maybe you're the opposite. Find somebody that you like how they work their social media and take little tips from them. Don't become them. Don't copy it and paste it and screenshot and post. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is adapt from other leaders, adapt from other people on our team. If you like somebody's preset, ask them where they got it. M's were just on sale, I think yesterday. I don't know. Are they still on sale, M? She doesn't know. We'll find out. If they are, we'll post them in the team page. So that way you guys can, she has a ton of them of the photographer that she works with. Y'all, if you like somebody's story, screenshot it, use it as inspiration, switch it up and make it your own. You don't have to have a 6-figure team to share about the business. The business side, my business fives, your business fives are not about, and this is going to sound weird, but they're actually not about you. They're what attracted you here. But if you think about it, it's the opportunity. For me, my business fives were VIP 800, VIP 1600. So our VIPs in the first 14 days, our auto bonus, weekly pay, no auto ships, no cold messaging, no monthly, like y'all, I could keep going. But for 3 years now, I'm not eligible for our VIPs anymore, but that's still part of my fives. Because it's not about me. It's not about you. Your branding fives and your why, that's about you. Your products are about what you feel because you can share that with others. The comp plan and the opportunity is not about you at all. And that's going to sound weird to some of you because you're probably like, yeah, I'm here. But if you're sharing and you're doing attraction marketing, it's about the basics. I need you to share the opportunity. And I'm sure I'm going to get the question of, well, I didn't hit my VIPs, or I'm not an auto bonus earner yet. And I mean this with so much love when I say this, but just because you didn't do something doesn't mean you can't enroll somebody tomorrow that's going to go do it. The opportunity is here. There have been things that I've earned before M has earned. That doesn't matter. The beauty of our business is the opportunity that you're offering to others, the products that you're offering. But the thing is, nobody's going to know unless you share them. Nobody's going to know unless you let them into your life and your journey. Because I can tell you right now, the messages I get from people who have watched me for the last 3 years and tell me that they remember me at broke, all the things Linz, to who I am today. Those are my favorite messages because they followed my journey. They followed my story. Your business is your story. Your journey is your story. The only person who can tell it is you. I want you to think about why you joined the person that you joined. What did they say that just one day you were like, I need to message them? What did they post that just one day you were like, okay, I need to know more? Was it the products? Was it the VIPs? Was it the auto bonus? Was it the no cold messaging? What was it? Because whatever it is, that's what attracted you, and that's what you need to share more of. You need to share more of why you said yes. You need to share more of your story. You need to let people in. You need to allow people to understand what this industry does for you and what it can do for them. Okay? And that starts with you sharing every single day. I have all the time people ask me if I'll audit their social media or if I'll do a makeover. And I honestly stopped saying yes for a while because everybody who would ask me, I would go and I would look and I'd be like, your last post was like last month. Your stories, you have your capsules in it. What do you want me to edit? What do you want me to audit for you? You're not even working. And this is where my red side comes out a little bit. is because I can't do it for you. M can't do it for you. Y'all, when we say we started this team page and had no idea what we were doing, we still have no idea what we're doing. Like, very accurate, y'all. We have not a clue. M and I will text each other all the time and be like, help. Like, what do we do? It's not about knowing it all, and it's not about being prepared. It's about going into it, knowing of the opportunity and the possibility, and not being afraid to jump and learn how to fly on the way down. We didn't have anybody hop on here and teach us attraction marketing. We didn't have anybody hop on here and teach us what fives were. We didn't have anybody create all of the units and trainings and boot camps and presets and all these things. We got on Google, we got on YouTube, we asked each other questions. You don't have to know it all in order to succeed. You just have to be willing to jump and fly on the way down. Because if you're too afraid to jump and you're too afraid to let your wings actually develop, you're enabling yourself. If you're afraid to post, if you're afraid to use attraction marketing and sharing, why? What is the biggest thing that's stopping you? Because I'm going to guarantee it's a limiting belief. Attraction marketing and limiting beliefs actually go hand in hand, which is kind of strange, right? Because you would think they wouldn't. But follow me here. A lot of times, most of the people who are doing attraction marketing and are sharing, I guess I should say sharing and limiting beliefs go hand in hand. But people who are sharing, it's not that they don't have limiting beliefs. It's that they know what is possible, and they know that their I ams are stronger than those limiting beliefs. And people who believe their limiting beliefs aren't sharing because they're believing the limiting beliefs instead of the possibility and the opportunity that's here. So which one are you going to do? Are you going to let your limiting beliefs stop you? Or are you going to take those limiting beliefs and say, you know what? Shove it. I got shit to do. I have a business to build. I have a legacy to maintain. I have generational wealth to create. Because I can tell you right now, it won't happen overnight. It won't happen on a silver platter. It won't happen unless you make it happen. You got to share. Start with your fives. And I probably sound like a broken record how many times I talk about my fives, but it's because so many times people ask me, how do you do it? How do you work your business? Every 14 days is a new 14 days for me. I literally, in my planner, y'all, have the 14 days, the 2 promoters, 2 customers, 2 promoters, 2 customers written out, and I literally check them off and put the name next to it every single week. Every single week every 14 days is a new 14 days. I haven't stopped sharing. That's a lie. I stopped sharing for a little bit, and my business felt it. I felt it. I refound my why. I refound my reason. And I haven't stopped sharing in the last 2.5 years from that little hiatus that I had. Y'all know we all have those little moments. I had mine. But that's in the past. So are you going to decide today that today's day 1 of 14 days? Go and share. How excited were you during that 14-day period? What were you sharing? How often were you sharing? What kind of stories were you sharing? The excitement you had, when you were sharing. Why aren't you using that same excitement? Nothing's changed. What? There's not an $800 bonus on the back of the 14 days, you're right. But what if you just created an $800 weekly income that continued to grow? That would be exciting, wouldn't it? That's how I viewed it as I was working up my income, as I was making this residual income, because y'all know that residual income doesn't happen. You're not going to see it on Tuesday. You're going to see it in 6 months. But if you're not still working and still excited and still sharing in 6 months, are you going to be here to see it? You're not doing all of this right now for in 6 months for you not to see it. You deserve it. Share it. Share your fives. Pull from your fives. My pictures, they come from my fives. My stories, they come from my fives. My opportunity stories, they come from my fives. My stories, my posts, they come from me, my stories. I share me. stop trying to be somebody that you're not. Because as soon as I believed in myself and I created my own lane and I said, you know what, I'm staying here, this is my lane, amazing things happened. I took myself out of a race that I never even wanted to run in, but I was running in it because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. You're not supposed to do anything unless it's towards your goals. Share why you're here. If you're here for Louis Vuitton, then share a Louis Vuitton. But if you're not here for a Louis Vuitton bag, why are you sharing about it? Why aren't you sharing about debt freedom? Why are you making it a story about all these things and fashion and this and that? Like, why wouldn't you share about what you're really here for? A lot of times people take attraction marketing and they think that their social media has to look perfect. I'm losing my voice. Sorry, y'all. That your social media has to look perfect. Your stories have to be perfectly clean and like, perfect. I just like, everything has to be perfect. If I go look at a page, it has to look like a blogger and an influencer. Y'all, I've had bloggers and influencers join me, and nothing against them, but half of them don't know what the heck they're doing in this industry. That if they were to implement what we're doing in their industry, they would be making so much more money. You're not a blogger. You're not an influencer. You're you. Your real life. That's worth so much more. I will never be an influencer. You'll never see me with perfect hair, like perfect clothes, perfect social media. You'll probably never catch me on a training with an actual bra on. Like, you just won't, because I am me and I want to implement, and M wants to teach you, like, we want you to be you, because your biggest thing in this industry is you and your story. But if you're afraid of your own story and you won't share your own story, we can't do it for you. I can't share your story. I can give you tools. I can give you resources. I can train. I can pour into you. All of the things. But I cannot do it for you. So if you haven't watched the boot camp yet, watch the boot camp. It has a lot of help with content. It has a lot of help with attraction marketing. It has a lot of help with everything that we talked about tonight. But 2, if you have not posted in the last couple of days, or you're not active in your stories, I want tomorrow to be day 1 of day 14. And guess what? When day 15 hits, you're back at day 1 again, because you're not here for a one-time bonus. You're here for a bonus business. You're here for residual income. You're here to build something so amazing that grandchildren that you won't even be here to meet are still reaping the benefits, because that's what we have our hands on. That's what's worth sharing. You are what's worth sharing. Stop being afraid of what somebody else is going to say, or what somebody else is going to think, or who doesn't join you, or who says no, or whatever it may be. People are going to talk regardless. They're going to talk if you're doing well. They're going to talk if you're doing shitty. They're going to talk. That's what people do. But I can tell you right now, the ones who aren't talking are the ones that are busy and successful. I don't have time to talk about other people. I'm busy. So I can tell you right now, people still talk about me. They're always going to talk. What are you going to do? Are you going to talk, or are you going to get to work? Are you going to talk, or are you going to share? Because those are the options on the table for you. And I know every single one of you guys can make this happen, because Em and I were a little square on a Zoom at one point too, who were just dreaming about 200K and never thought any of this would be possible. I have to sneeze. I'm sorry, y'all. And look, it's possible. Nobody gave us a magic handbook of how to make this work. We fail our way forward every single day. I wake up every single morning, know I'm going to fail at least 5 things, at least minimum, like off the bat, 5 things. Don't be afraid of failure. Be afraid of being stuck. And that is why I hate that word, because nobody is stuck. They're just not moving. Are you sharing? Because if you're sharing, you're moving. If you're not, then you're stuck. And the only person who can move you is you. It's not hard. You can do this. I have faith in you guys.
Thank you. Yes, I want to end it off with something. And I think this is really important. I pray that this is what you got out of this. What we need you to focus on is you and your effort and your confidence and what you show up and do every single day. And some of you are so busy and so wrapped in this vortex of trying to figure things out and not knowing the right way to say things or not knowing it. Like, you just get yourself stuck. You have to step out of it. You are in control. And if you expect other people to get in your inbox and say, hey, I need you to tell me about those products, I need you to tell me about that business, you better get over your fears and start showing up. Because how can you expect that from somebody else when you actually have your hands on this and you're still not showing up at the full potential that you can? When you're already in the game, you expect somebody else to jump in with you when you're here, but you're sitting on the bleachers. You're so focused on what other people aren't doing or how to figure out all these different things. You just have to show up and be you. The right people are going to come to you no matter what stage in your business that you're in. You want me to be honest? You know how I said that we broke off from my upline because we didn't align with some of the teachings that they had? We were taught to still message people. Was it like a cold message? No, but it was a message to people that you wanted to be on your team. Do you know why Lindsay's here? Because I told her she was pretty in her DMs. Not my proudest moment. We don't do that here. We don't message people and tell them that they're pretty, but guess what? This is where she was supposed to be. It's okay that I was in that stage. She's still here, right? She still got to where she needed to be, even though I was still growing. There's no arrival. I always hear, well, I haven't made a paycheck, I can't post. Well, you're not going to make a paycheck if you don't post about the business. That's like saying, well, they hired me, but they haven't given me my first paycheck, so I'm not going to go clock in. Like, come on, you gotta show up and you have to do the thing. So that's what I want you to focus on, is getting over yourself and gaining that confidence to know I am exactly who I need to be and I have my hands on exactly the right opportunity. It's a shame if I don't show up at 100%, because then I can't expect anything from anybody else. I can't expect customers. I can't expect people to vote on my polls. I can't expect potentials when I'm not giving 100% with a vehicle I already have my hands on. That's what attraction marketing is. It's being yourself and just showing up every single day. That's it. It's not complicated. I always say it's not hard labor. Okay, you're not out on the Bobcat where it's on a laptop. You're comfortable, right? Get on your stories. Be passionate about your products. Love this business. Grow your confidence. Okay, that's what's going to have people come to you. So I hope this helped. We love you guys. I will upload this later, and I hope you have a great night.